Hello guys, Ryan here. I just wanted to make a video on Atlas Reactor since I've asked a bunch of people if they had played it before. They always the same question. It's like, okay, I'll look it up, or what's it about? So I figure I've done a written review in the past for it, so I guess I'll make a video for it now. Since they have changed a lot of stuff about the game, I will continue to add to that as well with this video. So the game is basically a multiplayer online battle arena, normally a MOBA, but not like League of Legends or Smite kind of MOBA. There's no minions, it's just 4 versus 4, kind of a multiplayer XCOM style game, except you're not using your entire team. You're only using one character, and then it's filled in with 3 other people that are using one character as well. And I just figured I would go into the practice mode with someone that has an abilities that kind of go through all the different phases of what this game is broken down into, which I'll go into more detail when we get into it. So I'm going to use Blackburn. This is kind of like just a normal all-range firepower kind of. The champs are separated into frontline characters, which are the tanks. Basically, they're mainly melee combat. They get in close, disrupt the enemy team. Firepower, which is basically your DPS, anyone that does a crap ton of damage, and usually not a lot of health. And then support characters, which are mainly just supports. Some of them heal, not all of them are healers though, so you can't think of supports as healers. There is a few, 3 of them that I know offhand that do not have a heal at all. But some of their abilities and mods will allow them to heal under certain circumstances, but the mods change the way you play, so they're not exactly... I wouldn't consider them healers if they only have a mod that lets them to heal, because that's not going to be for everybody. Not everybody's going to use the same mods. That's kind of how you customize your characters out a bit, is the different mods I'll show you after we get out of this little game. I want to at least get this part started, and then I'll go into more detail with it as we get into different parts. So the game is like this. You see, you can move around the camera with W, A, S, and D. Q and E will rotate it. Left mouse button, right mouse button will allow you to select on things, or right mouse button will just let you move. Movement normally comes last in the lineup of phases. The game is broken down into phases, which is the prep phase, the dash phase, the blast phase. They're all color coordinated, so it's easy. It's green is first, then yellow, then red. Green is the prep phase, and that's where all of the characters like shieldings, buffings, heals, traps that you may have that you can place on the map. Those are all going to happen in the prep phase, which is going to all go off first, so maybe you can catch somebody that's going to dash or going to attack someone, so you can shield them before something like that happens. Maybe you can catch someone that's dashing with your trap, and so on and so forth. Second one from that will be the dash phase. This one works a little bit differently than all the other ones. In the dash phase, everybody that uses a dash will all work at the exact same time. Normally it'll go down lines like this character will use their move, then the second character will use their move, and so on and so forth. Dash, everybody dashes at the same time, because some dashes will deal damage, and if you're trying to damage someone who is dashing at the same time, they won't be hit. So some dashes can do damage. Lockwood is one of them that I'm thinking of right now. His ultimate ability actually lets him dash and deal damage at the same time. So if somebody dashes past him, anyone that would normally be damaged by that ultimate, if somebody's dashing at the same time that he uses it, they're not going to be damaged. So just something to remember while you're playing. And then after the dash phase is all over with is blast phase, which is where all the combat, all the damage, 90% of the actual gameplay is going to be happening in the dash phase. It's basically self-explanatory. They're like basic attacks, which is your number 1s. They don't have a cooldown. There's nothing really too special about them. It's just basically your way of building up energy. And as I'll just do right now, I'll shoot this direction. The yellow number above your character shows you how much energy you get, that you're going to be getting for using that ability. And how Blackburn's is, he gains 12 energy on a single target or 6 energy per cone target hit. Since I had selected to use the cone target, I'm going to be getting 6 energy per target hit, even though it says 14. I'm wondering why it's actually doing that. Oh, okay. And my mod that's on there is, it increases by 1 per cone target hit for energy. So since I'm hitting 2 people, it's going to add 2 onto it. So that number is 14. The red numbers over anyone that you are targeting at will show how much damage that character is supposed to take. It won't always. Sometimes someone gets a shield off or something before you have a chance of actually attacking, so that number can and probably will change. So this is practice mode, so the timer's not going to be, you know, kicking me out of this or anything. But in the normal game, as soon as that bar gets down to 0, if you don't have any banked time, it's going to end your turn whether you've done anything or not. So just for right now, we'll move on to this. So we'll do a prep phase move and a blast phase move. And then you hit spacebar, or you can click on lock in to lock in. Basically, once everybody's locked in, once the timer's done, the game will start working. All the blast phase, then dash phase, as you saw, my character used a stim pack on himself, so that was in the prep phase. That little drone that dashed out of the way, that happened during the dash phase. And then my attack went off during the blast phase. So we have a yellow ability, which is the dash phase. So if you watch this, I'll dash over towards him. And then I will shoot straight line. And I'll use another prep phase, so we're going to have 3 abilities going off. It's going to be prep phase, as it shows in the bottom. I get might, dash, same time he did, and they happen at the same time. And then I'm going to fire. So that's all 3 phases shown off right at once. Hidden movement is something that if someone's out of your line of sight, it will tell you that someone has done something, but it won't tell you who, and it won't tell you what they did. So that's something to keep an eye on also, just so you can kind of see who's all showing up and who's not, to kind of judge like someone's cooldown, or if they have an escape and you want to shoot at them or something. Most of the other things we can go into in the actual game. So that's basically how the game is separated off into. So I will go back out of this, and I will play a few games as different characters. I'll show off a support, I'll show off a firepower, and I'll show off a frontline. Just for, let's see. Alright, I'll just keep him. Wait, nope, shit. We have to edit out that part. I went back into practice.
I'm sorry, that's right.
It's okay.
Your team is ready.
Do what? Oh. Okay, so I'm going to edit that part out that just happened because I accidentally went back into practice mode like a dinghy. And if you hear any noises in the background, it's either cats or, you know, bedroom door opening and closing. So that's just where the outer noise is coming from. The mods. Okay, I'll go through mods real fast before we do this. Every character has a lot, actually. A lot of customization for how you want each ability to work. Like for Blackburn, honestly, the biggest one is his ultimate ability, which fires a carpet bomb across an entire line of the map. And it deals a lot of damage. Every ultimate ability deals a lot of damage. It's the thing that you're kind of building up for through the whole game. And his can actually be changed pretty drastically. Like, every one of them is a lot different. Aerial bombardment, right here, you actually call in a second airstrike, which deals damage in the same spot, but perpendicular, so it'll be a big cross going across the map. And damage is reduced from the initial 40 to 35. I like using that one a lot of times just because you can catch a lot more people with it. The damage is lower, yes, but if you can hit more people, it's a lot better because the game ends if one team kills 5 players, which means you have to basically kill the entire team plus 1. So dealing damage to as many targets as you can is usually a good idea. Death from above, the airstrike attacks the same location again next turn, dealing 20 damage. So it would be the initial 40 in a line as you watch the little video. So it's going to deal damage in a line across all 3 of those targets. And then Death from Above will actually damage that exact same spot again for 20 more damage. So you can get 60 out of that. That's pretty good. That's one that a lot of people pick. I like Massive Payload because it increases the width of the attack by 1. Because it's already, I think it's 2. Yeah, it's only 2 spaces wide. So I like having it be 3 spaces wide so you can hit more people. Doesn't change the damage. So it still does 40. And if you use a Might power-up, which increases your damage by 25%, it can deal a lot more. I deal it to 60. Penetrating Blast is another really good one, even though it only costs 1 to use. Because if someone's behind a little wall or something, they're behind, cover them. And your damage is going to be reduced by, I want to say half. I believe it's half. It might be 25% also. Don't quote me on that. But it does reduce the damage taken. What Penetrating Blast does is it basically reduces the amount of damage reduction by half. So instead, it's a whole math thing there, but basically you'll be dealing more damage to someone who's behind cover as you would normally. So it's always good to pick up something like that. Also because the main thing to do is whenever you're running around in the map, you want to be behind cover because you take a lot less damage. So what I'll do is this is kind of just the way that I've always played with him. So just go straight into PvP. As you can see, everyone starts off on one side, the other team starts off on the other side. They're all hidden, but it does show you, like, in the general area of where they are. So, looks like everybody's going to be splitting up a bit, so we'll take our spot, so we can easily take a few shots. Alright, so the yellow shields, by their names where the damage normally is, that is how much damage you're going to be dealing because they're behind cover. So what I can do is I can do that, and then I'll take my turn to move, because you always want to move after you take a shot, especially the firepower. And haste, which I just got from using that ability. Basically, after you attack, you can only move 4 spaces, but if you have haste or you don't attack, you can actually move 8 spaces. So you get full movement out of it, which is really nice. I don't think a lot of people really see just how good haste really is in this game. I know that when I first started, I didn't. What Blackburn's number 4 does is it during the dash phase, I will dash to a location, which I'm trying to dash through that might pickup to give me that extra damage. Any pickup on the map will stay on you for 3 turns. But you can only have one, so you can't like run across 3 different pickups on the map in the same turn and try to hold them. Once you pick up a second pickup, I believe it replaces your last one. Let's hope Aurora hits Blackburn there and he should die. Or not, that's fine. That's the furthest I can throw my grenade, so that's not going to hit them. So I'm going to shoot those 2 guys, and then I'm going to move away from everyone. Because as a firepower champ, you don't have a lot of health, so you want to make sure that you're always running away. Try and stay on the outside of the map, which I know I didn't, but unless you're a character that has to get in close, you don't really want to get in too close. Alright, now we'll actually be able to see because I'm going to run across this pickup. Let's see if it replaces my might. Still experimenting with some of these. Except I might die. Okay, so it did not replace it. I believe that just timed out. I'm going to use one of the new catalysts, which is Probe. You get vision for an area for 2 turns. It can see through camouflage. So if someone is inside of one of these little blue locations that it makes them look like they're cloaked, that is camouflage. If you're inside of it, nobody can see you unless there's an enemy inside of it or you use an attack or an ability to break that camouflage. There's Blackburn. Alright, so I'm going to try and sneak around him. And the enemy can see your little probe circle there too, so they do know that you can see them. See, he knows I'm coming for him, so he wants to make sure that he can try and get some shots off onto it. I'm going to try and see if I can kill him. Ah, I got the haste and I couldn't use it. There's that timer I was telling you about. It really messes with you if you try and second guess something you're gonna do, so you try and change it, the timer will normally run out. Missed out on a lot of actions because I've started second guessing it and I wanted to change it. And I missed because he dashed out of the way. And the little location, the little face icon shows their last known location, but normally that's not where they're still at. And since he doesn't have, as you can see above him, that number 5, he has 5 turns before he can use his dash again. So basically when they don't have an escape like that, you don't have anything to worry about. You're not going to miss the shot, so always just go for it. And since he didn't teleport or anything, you can still get hit by everything. And when you see their life bar like get to 0 and you see the like the flat line markers, that just means that there's still some sort of ability that's going to be attached to that character, whether it's you using it or someone else is going to shoot at him, or if he still has a move to do. It won't kill the character as soon as they reach 0. You will always get your abilities off still. Like, everyone's ability will still go off, and then the people that are supposed to die will die. So you can always try and take someone down with you. I don't really stop tapping my mouse, it's coming across a lot. Alright, I'm going to try and use my ultimate and see if it hits anybody.
Ready or not, here I fight. I can see your future.
Thank you, Aurora. Alright, got to. So how the game goes is it's first team to 5 kills or the most kills after 20 turns. And the number at the top in the middle is going to be the amount of turns. Once that reaches 20, whichever team has the most kills are the winners. And since I was talking, I wasn't working, and I had missed out on my movement again. I'm gonna use my teleport catalyst to get out of there. And I forgot to change my catalyst on his character, so it's still running the short range teleport instead of the long range one. Ah, I messed up. When looking at other characters, you can hold the Alt key. It'll show everybody's abilities. It won't show their first ability, so just remember that. It actually goes to number 2, to number 3, number 4, or the, yeah. Oh, it doesn't show. Oh, of course it's not going to show the ultimate. It's not available until they have their ultimate. Yeah, so it shows the 2, the number 3, and the number 4. And then any of them with the number shows how many turns before they can use it. The little 3 lights shows what catalysts they have available still. Gray ones they've already used. Little ones are the ones they still have.
Stay focused.
And if you hold Alt and click on the map somewhere, it will ping. Just like the League of Legends ping, if you hold it, you've got up to, like, attack, that they want to attack this person, on my way, assist, and danger, depending on which way you turn your cursor. So it does help with some communication if you don't want to talk to people. And now we are very close to losing this now.
4 turns left.
Okay, so Garrison has his dash, so he's probably going to be running away. Shit. Yet again, the timer messes me up because I'm not thinking of doing my move, I'm thinking of explaining things. Yep, he's out of here. And he landed somewhere where none of us have any vision, so we don't know where he landed. And we lost. Oh, crap. So this video would be too long if I make it with one of all 3, so I'm gonna edit this out to be a nice size tutorial for people, and then I hope this showed you kind of what you want to know and answered any questions. The game's free to try, it's free to play, so go ahead and try it out. It rotates with free champs. I think it's weekly. It might be like every couple days or something, but you can always try other characters, any of the free ones that are out, and then you can always just earn the flux that you need and buy anyone that you want to try with. I believe you can practice with anybody, whether they're free or not, so just go ahead and try out the game. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you.